Ray, what's it like to be the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the basketball game?
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it means. I haven't gotten any type of award. I'm glad to know that people in my generation think that I'm one of the best.
It is not generational. It is not, you don't have an award. There's a thing called a record book. Have you ever checked it out lately?
Yeah.
I mean, you own the record book.
I don't think I ever set out to be the greatest three-point shooter that the league has seen. But as I start playing, I start realizing how important working on your craft is. That got me in the gym earlier, because I want to be in the gym where I can think about my game and think about every shot and think about every routine. There is a compulsiveness that starts to develop. On shooting rounds on the road, I got to catch a cab so I can get back to the hotel, so I can get my stuff together to get back to the gym again. Because I have this like nervousness about not making the next three or not making the next free throw, that the only way it can go away is if I'm there doing it. That way I can not even think about it, like it's going in, I see it going in. Most guys that are shooting standstill shots, they have to wait for the perfect moment, or they're just sitting there, their feet's planted. The minute somebody runs you off, then you got to get to that spot again and plant your feet. But for me, I just separate by getting in the air and trying to move in different ways. You got to keep your legs strong and ready. That's the one thing, is I always got to keep these legs strong.
But in the fourth quarter, when your legs normally would be tired, that's when you hit your big shots.
LeBron, shot clock at 3, Allen, good!
I tried to train for endurance, so I got one more level to go to. I always try to catch the ball. You know, no matter how the ball comes, I always try to catch it, and I roll it, and my hands are across the threads. So in a perfect world, I always like it like this. I try to keep it, and I push it from here. So I don't think it ever gets over my head. Some people shoot, you know, with their ball right here. You know, my ball is always right, and it's right up here, and I push it that way.
When you release the ball, do you ever kind of will it in and say, oh, come on, like the old Carlton Fisk with a home run?
Very rarely. You never think about it. You almost don't even see the rim. You know, it's all body. It's almost like your muscle, your body just remembers it. You just go up and you shoot it, and the ball just goes up, and you've done it so many times, it just goes in.
What's the difference in the big three in Milwaukee, Boston, and now supporting the big three in Miami?
The big three in Milwaukee, we didn't have a lot of experience. We knew what we wanted, we talked about it, but we hadn't been through the real rigors of the NBA. The big three in Boston, that was the case. We had been let down, we'd been on bad teams. We were fed up with mediocrity. So that spawned that great 2008, because there was no denying us. This big three here, that they've had all of that. When I came, they didn't talk about winning last year, they just talked about winning this year. And that's something to me that showed great character in these guys.
You've had so many memorable nights in your career. Take us through a couple of great moments.
Rondo sets it up. Here's Allen with a deep three.
If I think about it now, it's like in slow motion.
Yes! 2,561, and that is the NBA record.
I remember, I think it was Nate Robinson sitting on the bench, his hands in the air. Before the game, everybody was saying who was going to pass me the ball, because they were going to be in video and footage and pictures, whatever it may be.
And then this year, again, it was Reggie Miller's name that you erased from the record book. Most three-pointers in playoff history.
He's still up there. I didn't erase his name.
Shot clock running down. Here's Allen for 3, and he is now #1 in NBA playoff history.
One thing I can say that's great about Reggie is he set the bar for all of us.
How long are you going to keep playing?
I don't know. I think seeing kind of where I am, how my body feels after 82 games and then playoffs, you got to just give yourself the opportunity to just get away from it, to think about it.
When it's all said and done, how do you want to have your legacy breathe?
Just that anybody mentions my name, they say, well, this is the blueprint, and this is how things have to be done. So that will always last in people's minds when it comes to shooting, when it comes to being professional, when it comes to being somebody that can be counted on.